Hi guys, Chris here from Somebloke who travels a lot. Today we're all at sea with MSC. I took a 2-day taster cruise with MSC Cruises on board their flagship mega ship, the MSC Grandiosa, sailing from Genoa to Barcelona. And in this video I'll explain exactly what a 2-day taster cruise is, why I booked one and what I paid. And while I'm here I'll also show you around some of the 180,000 tonnes of the MSC Grandiosa. I'll be covering dinner in the main restaurant, the 2 theatres on board, the casino, indoor activities, and of course the swimming pools and aqua park. Now, I've also made a separate cabin tour of my Deluxe Balcony Stateroom. You'll find a link to that in the description below and again at the end of the video. But let's start with the centrepiece of the ship, the Galleria. Now this is the very heart of the MSC Grandiosa and it's the first place you'll see when you board. And inside the Galleria you'll find shops, bars, cafes, specialty restaurants, and far too many temptations, and chocolates and ice cream to freshly made crepes. And after exploring a little of the Galleria, I headed to the Comedy Theatre for a magic show. Now it's a modern theatre with a traditional layout and the show itself was excellent. Great effects, very well produced. My only disappointment was no drink service during the performance.
Incredible international dancers! And also for our incredible illusionist, the video! Come on everybody, let's keep the applause going! What a show! What an incredible cast! The cast of Miss Galleria!
Now, dinner that evening was at the Purple Crab, one of the main dining rooms. Now, given how little I'd paid for this cruise, I assume I was very much in the cheap seats. But I did get a civilised second sitting. Now, I wasn't really blown away by the food, but everything was included, and at that price it was absolutely excellent. And the service was very good, which I thought was especially impressive even for an embarkation day. Now, let's talk properly about 2-day taster cruises and why I booked this one. Now, many cruises offer these short cruises and they're part of a longer itinerary, but you won't always find them easily on the cruise line's own website. And one of the best places to find them is cruisedirect.com. And I've put a link in the description to their current offerings, with over 60 itineraries available of these short cruises. Now, here's my first piece of advice if you're looking to book a taster cruise. Don't book a 1-day taster cruise. Always book the 2-day options. Because embarkation is usually in the afternoon, and disembarkation is typically between 8 and 10 the following morning. So with just one night on board, you simply won't get a proper feel for cruising or have time to explore the ship. Now, another important thing to remember is the ship is actually going somewhere. Your embarkation port is unlikely to be the same as your arrival port. In my case, I travelled to Genoa to board and flew home from Barcelona. So why did I book this? And is a taster cruise worth it if you're interested but not sure about cruising? Well, for me, firstly it was just a bit of fun. I did a 15-day transatlantic with NCL last year and I had a great time. So I just wanted to see the opposite end of the spectrum, something short and intense, and also see how MSC compares on board one of its mega ships. Secondly, I wanted to properly test Cruise Direct before recommending them. Now, if you've watched any of my hotel or flight reviews, you'll know I usually say book direct. And for hotels and flights, I stand by that. But cruises are a bit different. Travel agents and specialist cruise websites sometimes offer itineraries and pricing you simply won't find elsewhere, even on the cruise line's own website. So I tested them properly. The website was easy to use. I rang customer service to check them out, and they were quick to answer and spot on with my inquiry. Now, my booking and payment were made through Cruise Direct. But that didn't stop MSC from upgrading me from a very cheap interior cabin to a deluxe balcony stateroom. So there were no penalties at all for booking through the third party. So what did I pay? Well, I paid £150 for an interior cabin for 2 nights with entertainment and all main meals included. To put that into context, there's a ferry from Genoa to Barcelona that would cost around £130. And that's without entertainment, multiple restaurants, theatres, pools, or a balcony upgrade thrown in for free. Granted, you can't take your car on the cruise. So yes, taster cruises can be exceptional value. But do they give you a true taste of cruising? In my view, yes, sort of, as long as you book the 2 nights. But what I'd also recommend doing is tagging on at least 1 night in your arrival city. Now, I did that in Barcelona and I had a fantastic extra day, but more of that in another video. Alright, it's time to go back to the ship tour and then I'll finish up with my final thoughts. So while I've been chatting, you've seen the casino, where there's plenty of slots and tables with all the classic games. I budgeted €80 for the gambling vice, won a little on the slots, a bit more on the roulette, and after a few glasses of wine I ended up losing all my €80 budget. But it did take them a good while to take it off me, so I enjoyed my evening. Now, I didn't have time in my 2-day cruise to take in the carousel theatre, but the layout and style did look more to my taste, but perhaps not a perfect fit for a solo traveller. Now let me know in the comments if you've seen the show in the carousel and did I miss out. Now, one thing I did miss out was the pools. Nothing to do with MSC, it was just down to the weather. This cruise was in November and the weather outside was rather cold, 12 degrees if I remember rightly. So the team was sprucing up the outdoor pool ready for the warmer part of the cruise to the Caribbean. But fear not, there was also an indoor solarium and hot tubs. Looked too busy for me. To be fair, I was too busy for it. Also inside, we have a huge area for indoor activities. Basketball, sports hall, and my kind of sports, the sports bar with a bowling alley. Just an aside, if you're wondering why the whole ship looks so quiet in this video, well, it wasn't. It's just I don't believe in invading people's privacy on their holidays, so I get up at silly o'clock in the morning to film in public areas. And one place that just wasn't possible was the buffet. It was always busy. So I do hope YouTube's face blurring has worked on this video, and apologies if it hasn't. But talking of the buffet does lead me to my final thoughts. On main dining room and buffet, I had a much better experience with NCL last year. I think I also prefer NCL's flexible dining. And if you want to see more of that transatlantic cruise, the videos that I made on that, the dining, the tour of the ship, you'll find all those videos in the description below. And of course, I had no time for specialty dining, so I can't judge that. However, the ship was spectacular. I wasn't sure what to make of a mega ship, as this was my first time on board one. But I did really like it. Sometimes bigger is better. Actually, no, it's not better. It's more enjoyably different. And talking of enjoyably different, if you like this video, then please give it a like. And if you want to see more of my travels, then you might want to consider subscribing. It is free, of course, and if you ring the bell, YouTube will notify you when I post my next video. And I'll leave you with a final thought on how big the Grandiosa is. I had to climb a mountain in Barcelona to be able to take the thumbnail of the ship and get it all in the shot. Thank you so much for watching, and happy travels.